It's part of the World Championship highlights this afternoon at 4:30 on BBC Two. Well, thanks very much for being with us today. Breakfast will be back tomorrow, of course, from 6 o'clock. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hello, this is BBC News. I'm Ben Boulos. Our top stories. The UN demands international action to stop what it calls a shocking wave of brutality against civilians in Myanmar.
I'm terrified of what is going to happen. I think this could be just the beginning of a wave of brutality that is going to be just even more shocking than what we've seen today.
English health officials warn people not to squander the gains made against coronavirus ahead of restrictions easing on Monday. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is urged to swiftly clarify how many COVID vaccine doses the UK is prepared to donate to poorer countries. The latest efforts to dislodge the ship that's stuck in the Suez Canal have failed. They'll try again later on Sunday. The lights on famous buildings around the world are switched off for an hour as part of a campaign against climate change. Hello and a very warm welcome to BBC News. The United Nations has led international condemnation of Myanmar's military rulers over the killing of dozens of pro-democracy protesters. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Washington was horrified by what he called the reign of terror. There were similar statements from Britain and the European Union. But in a sign of how difficult it will be to agree international action, it's emerged that delegations from China and Russia were among those attending a military parade. Well, let's get more on this with our correspondent, Laura Bicker, who's monitoring developments from Bangkok. Laura, this development, very interesting, that presence of delegations from China and Russia at the annual Armed Forces Day. What can we read into that?
Well, it's difficult to read anything into it. All we know is that certainly both Russia and China have been very quiet in any condemnation, and certainly a